Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith, includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the popular and it's entertaining, the WOYK scoreboard. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Augie, Becky B. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being with us. Guess what? We've got a dandy with us this morning. York Catholic boys basketball coach Dustin Bakel. The Fighting Irish shared the York Adams Division III marbles with the McSherrystown boys, and guess what? They're about ready to match up with Linville Hill Christian this Wednesday at the Giant Center. You know, that's not far from my favorite place, the Hershey Park Kissing Tower. Doggy dog. For the District 3 Class 2A Cat's Eye, it'll be fun to talk to Coach about that. Also, with us, it will be York College men's basketball coach Matt Hunter. What a season the Spartans are having. With their home win yesterday over Hood College, they are sitting on top of the Mid-Atlantic Conference Commonwealth Division standings with a 12-win, 2-loss conference record, 19-6 overall, sitting 6th in the NCAA men's basketball national regional rankings released earlier this week, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans. For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today, our Go Long topic, outdo one another to show honor to others. Think about that for a second. Let's outdo one another to show honor to others. Throughout the weekend during today's show, please text your prayer requests to 717-350-8591. Becky B will close in prayer with all those prayer requests here at the end of our show this morning, as she does every week. Alrighty, you know it's red hot, Ed hot. It's downtown Ollie Brown. Grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami of faith-based sports radio shows, brought to you by Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK, first in York and first in sports. Also by our friend Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. All right, then, you asked for it, you wanted it, guess what? You're going to get it. This is the WOYK scoreboard. You know, I think it's fitting this time of year. We're going to tip this off with high school District 3 basketball action. We're going to start with Class 1A in the girls. Again, District 3 Girls 1A. The number 1 seed, Linville Hill Christian. They play out of the gap. They're going to match up on Monday against Greenwood. That'll be for the Final Four. Nobody in York Adams League in that single A girls bracket. Then in double A, on Wednesday, it's going to be a matchup between the York Catholic Fighting Irish with a 22-2 record over the Shalom Christian Academy. York Catholic winners over Halifax on Friday by a score of 59-23. They just blew out Halifax.
They sure did. Well, you know, if you remember, York Catholic is the Division III champs. They went through that division with a 14-0 record. They're led by seniors Katie Bullen and Mariah Shue.
Alrighty, well done, Becky B. And girls 3A is going to be number 1 seed Trinity is going to take on the girls from the Apple capital of the world, the Biglerville Canners. Biglerville, the 4th seed, coming out of the York Adams League. On Tuesday night, they took care of business by beating number 5 seed Upper Dolphin 48-28. And then Trinity beat Biglerville by a score of 61-31. So it's going to be down for the championship marbles between Trinity and Pequay Valley.
All right,
game Wednesday.
In that Biglerville Upper Dolphin game, Riley Brewer had 14 points, but Trinity came away. Emma Castelar had 17 points to lead Trinity.
Alrighty. Girls 4A action from Friday night. Lancaster Catholic over Eastern York by a score of 33-17.
Well, Lancaster Catholic's the Division 3A champs, the state reigning champs, so they're going to be a tough team.
They are. They're going to match up with DeLone Catholic. The girls from McSherrystown won Friday over the Bowling Springs. Guess what? Bubblers, as DeLone now runs their record to 19-5.
All right, and DeLone was led by Megan Jacoby. She had 23 points. She was 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
I like
That's good percentage
I
there.
like when you toe the charity stripe and knock them down.
Yes,
So,
and Reese Beckley had 18 points. Molly Kimball led Boiling Springs, those bubblers, as you say, with 16 points.
all right, so Tuesday, Lancaster Catholic's going to match up with DeLone. That's it.
That'll be a good
My
game.
opinion, just my opinion.
What's your opinion?
Probably there's 4 teams left in girls 4A. I think those top 2 are going to match up here already.
I think you're right.
So that's going to be Tuesday at Lancaster Catholic High School, 7 p.m. The Squirettes, win or lose, are still in the state playoff bracket. Top 5 teams will get into that. Eastern York's still playing for a 5th place game too, by the way, even though they fell to they beat Kennerdale early and then they fell to Lancaster Catholic. But Eastern York having a good season, right? Having a good season.
And they shouldn't be upset about losing to Lancaster Catholic.
I would say
Perennial
not.
power.
Alrighty. Then in girls 5A action, game played on Thursday. The number 1 seed, the York Suburban Trojans, run their record to 21-3. They win by 9 points over Mid-Penn's Lower Dolphin. The score was 41-32.
And this is the 200th win for Coach Jess Weaver. Jordan Williams led them with 16 points that game.
Alrighty, the Dogtown girls, West York Bulldogs on Thursday night. They beat the girls from the Rock, Paper, Scissors, the Susquehannock Warriors. West York runs their record to 19-6. That win over Susquehannock was by a score of 49-36. It was a 1-point game at the half, though.
Yeah, but Maya Shaw for West York had 24 points. They just couldn't find an answer for her. Annie Lobach was tops for Susquehannock. She had 10 points.
All right, girls 5A. So Susquehannock's going to move to the consolation bracket. They're going to play Lower Dolphin Monday night in the Rock. That game at 7 p.m. again in the consolation bracket. Moving on to the Final Four Monday night at York Suburban. The Suburbanites will take on the Dogtown girls. Again, my opinion, perhaps the best 2 teams in 5A matching up in the Final Four here. York Suburban, West York, Becky B.
I think you're probably right about that. But, Middletown's also having a really good season. They're at 21-2 right now. So, they're strong.
Well, true. All right, girls 6A from Thursday night. The Red Line Lions took care of business as they beat Central York, the Panthers, by a score of 42-33. That game played in Sigardtown. Red Line now with a 25-2 record.
Reagan Smith led Red Line with 16 points. Julia Sedora chipped in another 12. For Central York, Kylie Rubbert had 13 points.
All right, so Red Line now at Red Line High School. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., they're going to take on Central Dolphin. Central Dolphin out of the Mid-Penn League with a 16-6 record. Central Dolphins got there by beating the Tool-Time girls. They, I got to say, you almost got to think they upset them. Tool-Time girls in Mechanicsburg were unbeaten up to that point with a 23-0 record. Central Dolphin, Red Line, Becky B. Good matchup, right?
Right, but Mechanicsburg's still in the mix. They go down to the consolation bracket, and they'll be playing against Central York.
Alrighty. Hey, Dallastown at Dallastown one Thursday night over the Wilson Bulldogs by a score of 40-29. It was Patton Dallastown Wildcats J. Rex Ross defense for this win.
And Praise Matthews also chipped in 19 points, and you know how strong she is on the boards, too.
Yeah. So Dallastown's going to match up with a Lebanon Cedars team. Lebanon is 23-3. That game played tomorrow night at Dallastown, 7 p.m. I guess when you get down to the 6A Final Four in district play, I guess all the teams are going to be pretty daggone good. Lebanon 23-3,
right,
playing Dallastown 25-2,
and they beat Manheim Township. Manheim Township, of course, coming out of the Lancaster Lebanon League, 52-36.
Wow!
So
already,
yeah.
Alrighty. Moving on to boys District 3 playoff action. It was York Country Day. Here comes Rusty. The Greyhounds stay unbeaten. This game played at York Tech Friday night. They beat Coventry Christian by a score of 47-42 as York Country Day now sits on a 21-0 record.
All right, now the Eagles were ahead of the Greyhounds at the end of the third quarter, 36-31. So the Greyhounds had to come from behind. I think that's probably pretty unusual for them this year.
Yeah.
Ryan Moss led the Greyhounds with 14 points, and Sincere Burgos had 12.
All right, so Tuesday night, York Country Day is going to continue to make their run for the district championship. That game Tuesday night at York Tech. They're going to match up with a 12-5 Shalom Christian team. Shalom Christian winners over Ephrata Mennonite. Down in the other bracket in that 1A, is Lancaster Country Day is going to match up with High Point Baptist in the Final Four. The winners are going to play at the Giant Center on Friday for the District 3 Single A marbles. Then in Double A, It's going to come down to Linville Hill Christian with a 21-2 record playing York Catholic. York Catholic took care of business. They were the number 3 seed on Thursday at DeLone Catholic in McSherrystown. The Fighting Irish took care of the McSherrystown boys, DeLone Catholic, by a score of 54-47.
And Braden Smith had 10 points. Also, Colin Redding had 10 points for DeLone. Jake Dallas led York Catholic with 13 points, and Sam McKinn chipped in 11. Now, York Catholic, here's the difference. They were 14 for 16 from the free throw line.
Good job. Linville Hill Christian, they're from the Gap in Lancaster, just in case you didn't know. But their enrollment is single A, and they're playing up to 2A because of the newer PIAA success formula that moved them up from 1A to 2A.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So they're going to match up with York Catholic. That game Wednesday for the AA Marbles. That'll be at the Giant Center. Oh, doggy dog. All right, in 3A boys basketball, Trinity, the number 1 seed, they were Mid-Penn Capital Division first place team. They're going to match up with Lancaster Mennonite. Lancaster Mennonite was a Section 4 champs out of the LL League at the Giant Center. That game will be played Wednesday, 6:15, Trinity against Lancaster Mennonite. The Mid-Penn champions from Capital Division again against the LL League Section 4 champs, Trinity and Lancaster Mennonite. Pretty good game, Becky B. Trinity 18-3, Lancaster Mennonite 20-2. Wow.
Yeah, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Trinity, but I don't know. I think it's I honestly got to say it's a pick'em game in my mind,
okay,
right?
I agree.
Alrighty, Class 4A. How about this? Berks Catholic's going to match up with Susquehanna Township. Berks Catholic from the first place team out of Berks Section 2. Susquehanna Township. You ready for this? The 5th place team out of the Mid-Penn Capital. How about that? But down in the other bracket is going to be Eastern York, the Golden Boys. They took care of business as they beat the number 7 seed in the Bowling Springs Bubblers by a score of 48-45. Tell us about that game.
Yes, but this was a buzzer beater. Okay, at the buzzer, Anson Morcus puts down a 3-pointer to win the game. Now, Carter Walmsley, you know about Carter. He's the big guy there, and he put up 15 points for Eastern and had 10 rebounds to get it done. But, Eastern York came through. They're the number 2 seed in the bracket, and they've earned it.
Yep. So, Eastern York with a 20-3 record. How about that? They're going to match up Monday night at Eastern York in Wrightsville. They're going to play Big Spring, again, out of the Mid-Penn League. Big Spring beat Schuylkill Valley 70-44. Big Spring now with an 18-5 record. Eastern York again with a 20-3 record. All right, Becky B, you're going to go with your heart here?
I'm going with Eastern York.
Yeah.
I like that big guy.
Carter Walmsley, he is. He's a man playing against boys sometimes. He had a double-double, right? He had a double-double in that first game.
He sure did.
All righty, boys 5A basketball. It was the Papertown boys coming off their upset. Listen to this. Spring Grove, the 16th seed, getting in the 5A bracket. They matched up with number 1 seed, the Lancaster Lebanon Section 3 champions, Mannheim Central, as they moved on. Friday night, they faced a very good Exeter Township team, and they fall by a score of 58-50.
Right. Now, the Eagles were led by Brady Murray. He had 19 points. Caleb Allen had 14, and Dominic Pierce had 12. Cooper Smith, 11 for Spring Grove.
Alrighty. Hey, York Suburban moves on as they win over Octorara, the Braves, by a score of 61-46. That game played Friday night at York Suburban.
Right. Kai Strine had 18 points, and Silas Leonard had 17 points for York Suburban.
So if you don't know these guys, Kai Strine is like a 6'2", 6'3" shooting guard. The dude can flat out come off screens on the perimeter and knock them down.
Anywhere.
Silas Leonard is just, Silas Leonard is like a 6'1" small forward, but great rebounder, great penetrator.
Very athletic.
Yep, very athletic. Well done, the Suburbanites. They're going to match up with LL League's Exeter Township. That game will be played Tuesday at York Suburban. Becky B, do you have a pick?
I think Suburban's going to come away with this one. I really do.
I'm with you 100%. Alrighty, West York, the Dogtown boys, Friday night in Dogtown. They beat Lampeter Stroudsburg in a close one, 71-68, as the Dogtown boys of West York move on.
All right, and Grady Hoffman put in 20 points for the Bulldogs. Chase Cristofoletti also had 16. Chase Smucker, that's a York County name,
It
led
is.
all the
Lancaster
scores.
Lane.
I mean
Smucker.
a Lancaster name. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He led all of
What
the
if he
scores,
jams?
31 points.
Jam. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Wayne.
Do you think he can?
He probably can.
All right, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah. Now I totally lost my train of
Me
thought.
too.
Okay.
All right.
But you know what? New Oxford fell in the consolation bracket as well. They faced off against Lower Dauphin. Lower Dauphin beats New Oxford 66-57. And for New Oxford, Brady Holmes had 24 points and Braden Billman 19.
Right.
You know, both those young men are back next year. So
Yeah.
you can say they're out of it this year, but we'll see them again
I think
next
they're
year.
going to be back, right. West York's going to match up Tuesday night at Hershey High School. That game at 7 p.m. Hershey High School, again, second place in the Mid-Penn Keystone. West York 19-5 right now. Hershey with a 20-3 record. Two of the York Adams League down to the final two here, or down to the final four in Class 5A. Congratulations to Suburban and West York.
Absolutely.
Both with interesting games coming up. I want to talk a little bit more about these conferences in just a bit.
You know what? It's always hard to play at Hershey, but
Well, it
West
is.
York is just a bunch of Bulldogs.
They
So
are
I
a bunch
think
of Bulldogs,
yeah.
absolutely. Alrighty, it was Friday night. The Central York Panthers took on another York Adams League foe as they hosted William Penn, the York High Bearcats. York High with a great 19-6 record. Central York 23 with just 2 losses. Friday night, Central York took care of business, winning 81-58. Becky B, tell us about it.
Right. By the second quarter, Central York was already leading by 24 points. Big Ben Rill put in 26 points, and Ben Natal had 22 for Central York. Now, Ben Natal, 14 for 16 from the free throw line.
Okay.
You know, looking here at these playoffs, the free throw line is really, really important. Now, Nasir Barnes, though, for York, he put in 15 points.
Alrighty, very good. So York's going to actually move into consolation bracket. They're going to
They
play
are.
at Wilson. That game will be played Tuesday, the 25th. Alrighty, I want to just back up a second. Well, let's start with 6A. I always like to look how now we're at this point in the season where it's fun to look at how conferences are doing against each other. So starting with the 6A Big Boy Pants bracket in boys, the Final Four. So Central York's representing the York Adams League.
Right.
The Mid-Penn has 2 teams that are represented, all right? That is Central Dauphin and also Chambersburg. And then the Berks League with Governor Mifflin. Governor Mifflin representing the Berks League when you look at the Final Four. So the LL League, Section 1 champs, here's something also I find interesting. Now, again, this is only talk. It's not, I'm not trying to say what league's better. But I find it interesting to look at it, right?
Okay.
So, Lancaster Lebanon Section 1 champs, Cedar Crest, they lost in first round to Wilson, out of the Berks League. The Section 2 champs also are 6A from the LL League, Warwick. Well, they lost to Governor Mifflin out of the Berks League as well. Isn't that interesting? So, both of those LL League Section 1 and Section 2 champs lost in round 1.
Do you think it's that they went into it thinking, hey,
no,
we are the
I don't
champions,
think
nobody's
so.
going to knock us off? Or is
No.
it...
Well, here's the interesting thing that we had to actually look up a little bit. Reading, who won the Berks Section 1, actually did not get in the 6A. They had an 11-11 record, mostly because their non-league schedule was just stacked. I mean, they won, and I think that's, when you look at how these teams get power ranked, that might be something you got to look at, right?
Right, when they're winning their division, but because they go and look for really strong people outside even of District 3 sometimes, they did not make it.
Well, and I think it's not only go to look for better competition, which obviously is the case, but I know Central York faced a little this year. When you're successful, it's hard to get non-league teams to schedule you.
That
right?
is true.
So it's, that might be something to look at. Reading, again, Berks County Section 1 champions didn't get in this thing. So at any rate, so the York Adams has 1 team left in 6A, Mid-Penn 2, Berks 1, Governor Mifflin, we matched up with them early at Susquehannock, a really good team.
They were very athletic,
Shooting,
yes.
So no surprise, they're down to the Final Four here in boys 6A. Now, just a quick look at 5A. So 5A, 2 teams in the Final Four from the York Adams League. West York and Suburban both shared this title, right?
Right.
For Division 2 with the Golden Boys of Eastern York. So In 5A, 2 York Adams League teams, 1 Lancaster Lebanon team. Mannheim Central, again, listen to this. Mannheim Central, who won the 6-3 champions, lost opening day to Spring Grove.
Yeah,
So,
they were shocked, right?
Yeah. But Exeter Township out of the LL League still in this thing. So 1 team for the Mid-Penn, the Keystone champions, second place team, Hershey. Again, so Mid-Penn 1, LL League has 1, York Adams League 2 in that 5A bracket. Then, if you go down to 4A, you're going to have in the Final Four, you have 1 Berks team, that's Berks Catholic. They first place in Berks Section 2, no surprise there, right? Mm-hmm. Historic team that's always done well. And 2 teams for the Mid-Penn, Susquehanna Township. Now, you ready for this? Susquehanna Township down to the Final Four. This might give you a little sense of the Mid-Penn power, at least in this division. Susquehanna Township was 5th place in the Mid-Penn Capital Division. 5th place.
Wow.
And they're now down to the Final Four. Now, their record is 15-7. They're going to match up with Berks Catholic. Eastern York's representing the York Adams League. Again, Section 2 co-champions playing Big Spring out of the Mid-Penn League. So it's just interesting to look at some of those teams and how they did. But I'd say fairly well balanced, right? Mm-hmm, Probably a little bit more dominant for Mid-Penn, York Adams League at this point, but otherwise fairly well balanced. Alrighty.
All right, and it's amazing how when you look at some teams just peak at playoff time.
Yeah.
It seems like all of a sudden they've gotten all their timing together, they're rolling on. And it's interesting that some teams can come from, say, 5th place in their division and end up in the top 4.
Yep. We've got a lot to do yet here on our Scoreboard Show. We're going to look at wrestling. We have some other things to look at as well. First, I just want to give you a little history about PIAA state playoffs as these teams now are fighting to look at these playoffs. Right now, 128 teams get in. Boys and 128 girls teams get in with 6 classifications, right? All the way from single A to 6A. Well, can you imagine? This is over 100 years old, the PIAA basketball championships. First championship, PIAA championship, played back in 1920. How about that? And it wasn't until 1925 where the second one, track and field, came into play. So at any rate...
And they were playing with a ball that bounced, not a rock at that point, huh?
Well, true. Maybe a peach basket hanging on the wall. But anyway, listen. Check this out. Football. Take a guess when football championships started. You've often heard me talk a little bit about this.
Probably what, 1950?
1988. It was
what?
1980. No, remember when
that's right. You said because there was only like a York County championship,
but
then you didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
1988 until PIAA started football championships. Baseball, 1977 until baseball championships started. They had soccer before that, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
They did.
Girls basketball first championship was 1973. So anyway, back in 1924, only 8 district winners made it to the state playoff championships.
And now we're at 128.
now we're at 128 boys and 128 girls. All right.
Well, but think about it. How could you get the transportation at that point?
Well, yeah. Well, that's true.
We're talking 1924 Model Ts.
Yep. True. So the first winner in 1920, Bellevue High, coming out of the Western Pennsylvania Interschool Athletic Association. They beat McKeesport 35-25. Still lots of things to talk about. Okay, Becky B.
Yes.
Do you want to give us yesterday bowling District 3 championships? Can you give us a look at that? And then we're going to go long, and then we have a couple great interviews. We still have a lot of scoreboard stuff to do.
Oh, and we have wrestling to talk about later on then, too.
A lot of wrestling to
Absolutely.
Talk about. All right, so
okay.
Give us a look at bowling.
Yeah. Okay, the 2025 PIAA District 3 Boys and Girls Bowling Tournament took place at Heister Lanes in Reading. And first of all, they all rolled 5 games, and the top 6 bowlers will advance to the single elimination finals of the state. The top 2 will receive a bye, and then they'll have the bowl-offs for that. All right, and we have some York people who have gotten into that tournament. From Spring Grove, Blaze Denny led with 1,150 points. He ended up in 5th place for the tournament. Now, just missing the cut by only 3 pins was Clayton Tyndall, also from Spring Grove, and also a great showing from Cameron Taylor from York School of Tech. He ended up with 1,092 pins. We have 2 girls from the York area going into that tournament. From York School of Tech, Elia Hall ended up with 1,020 points, total pins. And from Red Lion, Kaylin Jones. Congratulations to those young ladies for making it into the top 6,
Hey.
4th and 5th position.
Well done. Congratulations. We still have wrestling to talk about. We have York College, Penn State, York, both these teams. York College teams, Penn State, York teams win yesterday, men and women. Still, and we have lots of college athletes to tell you all about. But before we do that, it's time to go long. It's out of here, I should say. It's a dinger. Here, today our topic is outdo one another in showing honor. Let's try to outdo one another in showing honor. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And first of all, in my opinion, showing honor is different than respect, right? And so much today we hear we were disrespected, or I was disrespected by it's almost like a phrase that people just say, right? And I think, I grew up and was taught to respect, and I want to argue, and I want to tell you a little bit about it, that we were taught to honor one another. And just a quick little story. My father is a manager of a local grocery store, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody who walked in that grocery store, it didn't matter, where they came from, what walk of life, what they did, what their socioeconomic status was. They were honored, treated with the same honor, and that's, it's respect, right? It's holding somebody in high esteem. Mm-hmm. It's appreciated and valuing them, just to value them as a person, regardless of where they stood, right?
Right.
To value them. And I think that's a little different than respect. Respect is, we were taught to respect our parents, right? We were taught to respect our teachers and our elders. Yes. Yep, you're right. But I think honoring somebody is just a different thing. And that is truly valuing them as a person, right? When you value them. Respect is something you give to somebody. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You hold them in esteem. But when you honor somebody, you truly value them. Am I making any sense?
Well, a little bit.
Right.
Well,
just
basically, all of us are made in God's image, right?
Yep.
So all of us have value from God. He loves us all, and He loves us more than anyone else can love us. Yeah. Now, looking at how people, though, have honor for others, we don't see that nearly as much. Unfortunately, some people take other people's lives without a second thought. People are looked down on for their social status. They're looked down on for their jobs or lack of jobs. They're looked down on for their political affiliation, all kinds of different things, now in ways that we're judged. There's some people that just because of, say, the color of your skin or your political affiliation, they cannot respect you because you hold those values or you hold that designation.
Yeah. From the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 9 through 10. Let love be genuine. Hate what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. So that's where I took today's title of Go Long. Outdo one another in showing honor is coming from the book of Romans. Never flag in zeal. Be aglow with the Spirit. Serve the Lord. So from the book of Romans, service to the Lord is outdoing one another and showing honor to others. How about that?
Well, I like that you kind of put that tag on it of service to the Lord, because yes. I think some people make a show of lip service, saying different things, but not always following through. I should not be judging, but but saying things to show, but not really following through in a godly way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may say that's tough to do, and it is hard to do. From the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 3, His divine power has given us everything we need for a godly life through our knowledge of Him who called us by His own glory and goodness. So we're called by the glory and goodness of our God, that we should outdo one another in showing honor, as stated in the book of Romans, as we serve. And Becky B., you're right, as we serve the Lord. Never flag in zeal. Be aglow with the Spirit and serve the Lord. My friends, let's outdo one another in showing honor to our brothers and our sisters.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many different ways that you can serve. There's food banks, and there's, help for transportation, and there's, helping people who are, like, when I look at, there's so many people who have stepped up to help with the wildfires and with the huge floods down in the Carolinas, and that's just, giving what they absolutely can to serve others.
Absolutely. Alrighty, my friends, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decor, where home staging makes dollars and cents. After that, we're going to go to York Catholic, talk to Coach Dustin Bakel in just a bit. My friends, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207.
It's almost time. The York Revolution roster is being built for the upcoming season. And right here is where you get the news first.
Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy, with Daryl Henry and Revs manager Rick Forney.
The latest player signings, plus interviews live on the show each week.
Do people listen to this? There are a lot of people that listen to this. How do you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. I don't know.
Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy.
Monday at 6 on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK.
It's gonna be another epic year of high school hoops, and Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK are ready for tip-off. Tune in every week for the high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to 98.9WOYK.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the York Adams League. The high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch all the action all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350, online at 98.9WOYK.com, or download the new WOYK app.
Hey, welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough, with me Becky B, and with us right now on the phone, we're going to go to York Catholic, the Fighting Irish, as they're playing for the District 3 2A championship at the Giant Center. Coach, you know that's not far from my favorite place, the Kissing Tower. Alrighty. Coach Dustin Bakel with us right now. First of all, Coach, congratulations. Great win over the Lone Catholic as you move forward to face Linville Hill Christian. First of all, tell us about your team, Coach.
Well, we've had a pretty good year. I've been pleased. This thing is kind of coming full circle for us. We started out, our very first game of the year was against Linville Hill, and they beat us by 10 points, and now it's kind of cool to see things. We're a completely different team from that point in time, and trying to figure out, we had a lot of underclassmen that have participated this year, and Jake Keffer's been a starter for us. That was his very first high school game when we faced them. Connor Latriciano is another freshman that got pretty big role for us this year, and probably starting a little bit more than 50% of our games. And obviously we have some senior leadership with Jake Dallas and Evan Kipple, and our point guard Evan Bischoff and Sam McKim are really doing a nice job kind of managing the game and distributing for us. So been pleased with our development throughout the season.
Coach, tell us, what you do offensively, defensively, a little bit. I mean, we matched up in a scrimmage this year. I mean, you defend so well, but tell us a little bit about the kind of things you do as a team.
Thanks. Well, defensively, we actually have kind of changed our path here a little bit throughout the course of the season. We, historically in our division, we've been able to apply a lot of pressure to our opponents and turn them over and kind of run some traps and get out and run. And what we were finding was that when we played against better competition, bigger schools and things like that just really didn't serve us well. And so we kind of changed our philosophy. We do still play, man-to-man, but it's really just an honest, no gamble, no pressure, kind of really grinded out type defense where we're really forcing you to take tough perimeter shots, give you one opportunity and really try and square up the offensive player and things like that. And then on the offensive end of the floor, we do run a little bit of a spread offense. I don't want to call it a four corners, but we do keep it pretty spread, and we run some high ball screen actions with shooters in the corners and see what opportunities we get there. And we also have just kind of implemented a real simple give and go offense to just isolate some mismatches and things like that. So we like our motions. We do rely on a lot of sets. So our kids have been doing really well in executing those things.
Well, Coach, you do such a great job with X's and O's, but you're also just a wonderful leader, a great coach, and we talk about mismatches. I think anybody that matches up with Jake Dallas is a mismatch, right?
Well, Jake, that's a nice compliment. Jake has really worked hard through the years. He's probably one of the hardest working players I've ever been around, and to his testament, he's probably going to finish 4th or 5th all time in York Catholic history in points. And he's a grinder. He's an early morning kid. Go and get a couple hundred shots up, come to school, work out with the team at the end of the day, and he's always kind of pursuing it. And that's kind of how he's been from junior high on. And so all the success that Jake has had with all-state honors and player of the year and this, that, and the other thing has really been well-deserved. He works very hard at it.
Now, not only is he a leader, scoring and so forth, but, he seems to be the type of kid who's a real leader on and off the court with the rest of your team.
Sure. He absolutely is. Jake's a pretty good example, not only for our team, but for our entire program. We run a program called Dunks and Donuts. That's our kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd graders. We get together with them on Saturday mornings over at St. Joe's, York. And Jake's a fan favorite there, and he's certainly there every Saturday, kind of leading the way and coaching up the little kids. Jake, I think, is top 5 in his class academically, and so he's a fantastic example as far as that goes, of what it means to be a student athlete. And then just vocally, at practice when, if things aren't going well or things, whatever the case might be, he always has some positive and encouraging words for the team or for others. So, yeah, Jake's been fantastic for us through the years.
All right. Now, going into playoffs like this, it's really nice to have somebody like Jake who has that kind of experience and has come up through your program. But how is it with a young team? You said they're really coming together now. Will they have that kind of confidence going into a big game like against Lynn Hill Christian?
Well, I hope so. I mean, Lynnville, they're certainly familiar with playing at the Giant Center. I think they've been there the last 4 years, and in single A, they've made it to the state semis, and so they are an extremely mature team. Where they're very senior heavy. They're physically mature, and so our kids, they competed very hard the other night at the Lone. I was very happy for them and us that we pulled out that win. We've played against some pretty good competition this year in terms of Berks Catholic and Trinity and some of these tougher Lampeter Stroudsburg. We try and recently Red Lion, and so we're fortunate to play against some pretty high caliber talent. And so I do think that we've played against this type of team. Playing at the Giant Center is a little bit of a different animal when you kind of look up and it feels empty, and the depth perception and the moment, it seems almost surreal when it's done. The day kind of really goes quickly, and so I hope that, my job as a leader is to kind of keep them calm and kind of present and in the moment and just really focused and dialed in, and we'll see how things go.
All right. Well, today on Go Long, we celebrate Coach Dustin Bakel and the York Catholic Fighting Irish playing for the District 3 Class 2A Boys Championship. That game Wednesday, 2:45 at the Giant Center, not far from the Kissing Tower. Coach, you're a great leader. You're a great coach. You're a great gentleman. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for the Fighting Irish and the Fighting Irish community. Well done. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Coach. Have a great day.
All righty. Coach Dustin Bakel, what a great job he's done with the Fighting Irish. And as they move on, Lindenfeld Christian's not a give-me by any imagination.
That's for sure. They may be small school, but they pull in some big basketball
with a 21
players.
and 2 record. All right, Becky B. I want to go over some the York College, some of these local colleges, and we still have wrestling to do. So,
we sure do.
All righty. So lots to do. But yesterday, the York College men's basketball team had a great Saturday afternoon. They beat Hood College Blazers by a score 75-72. It was just a great game in York. Not only did the Spartans win the MAC Commonwealth Regular Season Championship with this win, also they saw their senior Chris Myers go over 1,000 points in that win. So York improves to 19-6 overall, 12-2 in the league. The Spartans now tied with Albright for the regular season champion. So up next, these two teams, both of them, will play again on Wednesday night in the MAC Commonwealth semifinal tournament. That game will be played at York College Wolf Gymnasium. The Spartans are the 2 seed. Hood College will be the number 3 seed. The winner of that game will advance to face either Albright or Alvernia. That game will be played Saturday at the highest remaining seed. Again, Wednesday night, it'll be tipped at 7 p.m. Daryl Henry here on WOIK will have the call.
All right, and the York College women's basketball team closed out their regular season with a 70-61 win over Hood College on Saturday afternoon. They got off to a great start in the first quarter, and they hung on from there in the finale. They improved to 16-9 overall and 9-5 in the league. The Blazers will see their season come to the close, but on Wednesday night, the women from York are going to Chester to take on second-seeded Widener in the MAC Commonwealth semifinals. So they'll be the 3 seed, and then Albright will face Messiah, who was the number 1 seed, and so then the winners of the Widener York and the Messiah Albright game will face off on Saturday, March 1st.
All right, well done. Some of those top scorers for the women York yesterday, it was Georgia Panapola, senior from Central York, with 18 points, Alyssa Hocker with 11, and Brianna Grimm from Eastern York with 11. It was Penn State York men winning over Penn State Scranton 80-62. The Penn State York now 18-10 overall, 12-6 in their conference. York High 6'3" senior Marclise McLean with 14 points, 5 boards. So up next now for Penn State York, they'll play Monday night in the PCU Athletic Conference quarterfinals. They're going to match up with Penn State Schuylkill. That game at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Monday night.
And Penn State York women took it to the Penn State Scranton teams. They beat them 69-25. Abigail Alexander had a game-high points from of 21. She was from Northeastern. West York's Jillian Foster chipped in 10 points, and Southwestern's Olivia Sell chipped in 8 points. Dover's junior Michaela Fink had 6 points for the York College women.
Alrighty. Hey, up next for them, they're also going to play in the PSU Athletic Conference quarterfinals. They'll match up with Penn State Mount Alto. That game will be played 6 p.m. at Penn State York on Monday night. I wanted to give you a look at these D3 Hoops regional. This is NCAA rankings, regional men's basketball rankings. There's 10 regions in the NCAA Division III. By the way, Division III has more teams than any other division competing. Mm-hmm. So, ranked number 1, Catholic University. I'm just going to give you the top 6 because you'll recognize so many of these local teams. Catholic University, 18-3. The Gettysburg team, 16-5. Drew, 18-3. Ranked 4th is F&M. The Diplomats are 15-6. York is ranked 5th now at 16-5. And John Hopkins, John Hopkins ranked 6th. And in D3 Hoops regional rankings in Region 5, Scranton's ranked number 1st. They're unbeaten, followed by Gettysburg, John Hopkins Catholic, Messiah University ranked 5th. They only have 2 losses. And Elizabethtown College ranked 6th in those D3 Hoops rankings. All righty, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more your college men's basketball coach with our head coach, Matt Hunter, in just a little bit. Becky B, I had a chance to watch them play on Wednesday night. And I'm telling you, I don't know that there's any team that I have seen at high school collegiate level in person that play harder than that York College men's basketball team. And, and that's a direct result of great coaching, in my opinion,
Absolutely,
right?
Yep.
All righty, we'll be right back after this message from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors.
Daryl Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207.
It's gonna be another epic year of high school hoops, and Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOIK are ready for tip-off. Tune in every week for the high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to 98.9WOIK.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the York Adams League. The high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch all the action all season on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350, online at 98.9WOIK.com, or download the new WOIK app.
It's deep! It is goal! Hit your own homer and welcome a York Revolution player into your home this summer. The Revs are looking for player host families. Get an inside look at the life of a pro ball player, plus loads of benefits, including admission to all home games, a $250 concessions gift card, and much more. Host families are critical of putting a championship team on the field. Help us bring another championship to York by hosting a Revs player this season. Email Josh Santora at jsantora@yorkrevolution.com and join our team today.
Welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. And with us right now, oh my gosh, the York College Spartans men's basketball coach, head coach, Matt Hunter. Coach, what a tremendous season. MAC Commonwealth, co-champions. Oh my gosh, that has a nice ring to it. Coach, tell us about it.
Yeah, it sure does. It's kind of a culmination of 3 years of work for a lot of these guys, and it's awesome to have that regular season champion title next to our name again.
Coach, I had a chance to watch your team up front in person Wednesday night as you just tattooed a Widener University team, and I've often said, good teams take on, kind of reflect their coaches, and I have to say, and I've been to hundreds of college, university, thousands of games over the years. I'm not sure I've ever seen a team play as hard, play with as much intensity, play with much team spirit as this York College Spartans team plays with, Coach.
Oh, that makes me very excited to hear. I really appreciate the compliment, and we work really hard at basketball, but we also we work really hard at creating that environment that you just spoke to, and it is it's something that we take a lot of pride in, and kind of the stuff that goes around just the X's and O's is ultimately the most important piece that you learn as a college athlete, and how to be a teammate and how to compete, and kind of what it takes to be successful. So I am super excited that you could see that kind of stuff jumping through, and that's what we're striving to be all about.
Well, here's how it played out against Widener. Is you defended so well, and you shared the ball, moved so well on offense. By the second half, their body language, you could just see the frustration just pouring right out of them. It was like sweat pouring out of them. Was that frustration? I mean, you just beat them, you demoralized them, and that's I don't know. As a basketball coach, I'm looking at that and saying, oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, our guys do a really good job. Coach Wagner's done an awesome job with the offense and building a system that really works for our personnel, and our guys move it and share it. And obviously we had a great night shooting the basketball, and as you know, that makes it a little bit easier. And after the first couple minutes, we really did settle in defensively, and were able to impose our will on the game.
Well, again, yes, you shot well, but here's what tickles me from a coaching, from a fan perspective. Sai Sapala, who's just a great player, right? Kai Sapala, he contested 3 passes that ended up he did 3 steals that ended up being dunks down on the other end. And when you have teams pressuring the ball, contesting passes, as a coach, it's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to treat each game a little bit differently, and what we need to do defensively, and mold ourselves to the game. And Kai had a little bit of a different task that game than he usually does. And kind of once we got settled into the rhythm, he was tremendous, and it really allowed us to kind of put them on their heels a little bit.
Well, Coach, the Widener game was one of those where, you came out, hit some threes right away, just really took the game in your possession and never looked back. But I've been at your college games when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and that's your college team. You can almost see them ramping up when it's a really tight game or they're down a couple of points. And how do you get that intensity to come through when they are exhausted and in such tight clutches at that point?
Yeah, thank you. It's something we use the word tough. You just use the word tough. We use the word toughness a lot, and toughness isn't always physical. There's mental toughness involved and emotional toughness involved in being successful. And I thought yesterday was a perfect example of that against Hood. We came out much the same way that you guys left the gym on Wednesday night, and we made everything in the first half. And then we made absolutely nothing in the second half. And the game kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And Hood actually took the lead. And our guys responded in a championship level way. We were able to, in a half where really nothing went right, we were able to summon that. And we got 7 consecutive defensive stops to finish the game. Which was an absolutely incredible stand, and really speaks to the toughness that you're talking about.
All right, well, today on Go Long, we celebrate Matt Hunter, your college men's basketball coach, and the entire Spartan team. Guys, I'm telling you, you want to go out, you have a couple opportunities to see these play yet, but Wednesday night, 7 p.m., it'll be game 3 of the season against Hood College. It's the rubber match, Coach. You're playing for an opportunity to get to the NCAA tournament now that you're in the playoffs here, get an automatic bid, hopefully. I know it means a lot, after a whole season of hard work, but Coach, we celebrate you. You're a great coach. You're a great mentor. Everything you do is what's right about college sports, and we value that very much, Coach. Wednesday night, get to Wolf Gymnasium. I took my whole high school basketball team there Wednesday night. What a great experience for them. And I'm telling you, if you can't get there, Daryl Henry from WOIK will have the call. Right, Coach? Good luck, Coach, moving forward. What a great opportunity you have.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate all the kind words.
All righty, Matt Hunter, your college men's basketball. Thanks, Coach. See you later, buddy. Good luck Wednesday.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right, let's go on to some other tough people. Let's talk about some wrestling. The South Central AAA AAA Wrestling Regional Tournament was held at Spring Grove High School with 57 teams on Friday and Saturday. Now, a York County team ending up at the top spot for the York County teams in 12th place was Central York, followed by Red Lion in 14th place and Spring Grove in 16th place, Northeastern in 19th place. But we had some individual winners at 170 pounds. Ending up in 3rd place was Harold Kears from Central York, and in 5th place, Ezra Henning from Spring Grove. At 114 pounds in 6th place was Keegan Hewitt from Northeastern. 121 pounds, Elijah Hewitt took the whole thing from Northeastern. He's a senior. He ended up the tournament at 4-0 for the season. He's at 33-2 at this point. At 127 pounds, Jackson Oral from Red Lion ended up in 2nd place. At 145 pounds in 6th place, Aiden Carley from Dallastown. 152 pounds, York County did themselves proud here in 1st place. Nathaniel Reppelrog from Central York. He's only a freshman. He ended up undefeated for the tournament. He's at 38-6 overall. Roland Damon from Red Lion ended up in 2nd place. 160 pounds, Michael Schmidt from Kennerdale was in 4th place. 172 pounds, Chase Amspacher from Spring Grove is in 3rd place. 189 pounds, Garrett Getzel from York Suburban ended up in 5th place. And at 285 pounds in 6th place, Antoine Bell from New Oxford. And the team standings for the AA bracket, Bermudian ended up in 4th place, followed by Biglerville in 9th place, and DeLone Catholic in 11th. Littlestown also tied DeLone Catholic for 11th place. At 107 pounds, Channing Hickok from DeLone Catholic ended up with a 7th place medal. 114 pounds, Kai Nelson in 8th place. 121 pounds, Austin Anderson from Bermudian Springs ended up with a 4th place finish. At 127 pounds, Cole Schischler in 3rd place from Bermudian Springs. 133 pounds, Gavin Green from DeLone Catholic in 2nd place. Reese Daniels, a 5th place finisher from Bermudian Springs. At 139 pounds, Connor Dillon from Littlestown was 5th, and Aiden Slaybaugh from Biglerville was 7th. 145 pounds, Hayden Yakoval Andrus from Bermudian Springs was in 3rd place. In 6th place, Brady Dillon from Littlestown. 162 pounds, Noah Gonzalez from Bermudian Springs in 5th. In 8th place, Cooper Hershey from Littlestown, and in 7th place, Mason Bishop from Biglerville. At 160-pound bracket, Caden Oslin from Biglerville was in 7th place. 189 pounds, 1st place winner from Tanner Rock from Littlestown. He ended up 3-0 for the tournament. He is at 40-1 for the season. Preslin Gladfelder from Bermudian Springs, 4th. Landon Taylor from Biglerville, 6th. And Austin Gregg from DeLone Catholic in 7th place. And at 215 pounds in 3rd place, Mason Mensler from Biglerville. 4th place, Carter Storm from Bermudian Springs. And 5th place, Lincoln Kirscher from Fairfield. And at the 285-pound bracket, in 1st place, Caleb Tyler from DeLone Catholic. And 7th place, Julian Diaz-Mendez from Biglerville.
Alrighty, Becky B, well done honoring those student athletes, wrestlers, so well done. Friends, I want to, as we wrap up and before Becky B offers prayer with us all, for us all, again, I want to thank all of you for being with us today and every Sunday morning. It's so special for us to have this time together with you, again, as we celebrate these accomplishments of our local athletes and sports figures, but also do it in a faith-based way. So thank you so much for being with us today and every Sunday. So Becky B, would you please close in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the warmth that you have started to bring back to our area, and we just thank you, Lord, for helping us to have the strength and perseverance to get through some of these colder days. But we remember, Lord, that you send all things for good reasons, and thank you for being with us throughout this last winter season, and continue to be with the athletes who are still in postseason, and help them, Lord, to glorify you in everything they do, and to do their very best to be good sports, and to do their very best physically, mentally, and in a sportsmanship way. We thank you, dear Lord, and we praise you for good outcomes for Heather and for Bonnie, as they both had doctor appointments this week, and we thank you that Luke was able to go back to work, Lord. We ask you, please, as Blair starts his chemo and his radiation treatments, that you give him strength, and we ask that you continue to be with Jan as he continues to wait. Also, we thank you, and please ask your loving kindness on Luke and on Allison as they continue to heal. We just praise you, Lord, for all the many, many blessings that you give us, and ask us, Lord, to be mindful that we should do everything in your honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Becky B. My friends, from the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 9 through 10. Let love be genuine. Hate what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Never flag in zeal. Be aglow with the Spirit and serve the Lord. My friends, thank you for being with us, and now we end with this. The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Thank you to Kelsey Jean from Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. For Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. First in York and first in sports. This is Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, go long.